it hurts, my voice. Good morning! Welcome to Drive Time with Alec. I'm Alec. It is a glorious day, and I'm very sad because I had an amazing drive time, one that was going to change your life forever, and then I got a phone call. You know, so rude. So rude. Anyway, we'll try it again. This is round 2. Alright, hey, I had a cool email from Kristen Bruce, and I want to share it with you guys because it has a great question in it that I'm going to spend all morning talking about. She said, what do you feel about the value of selfishness? And she said, she mentioned Ayn Rand. It's a big topic in her book, Atlas Shrugged, and all of her writings, really, and her semi-weird religion, Objectivism. So how do you feel, knowing that's one of your favorite books, Alec, how do you feel about selfishness? She goes on to pull that concept apart and says, look, a lot of things that can be done, that can be thought of as self-help, can be viewed of as selfish. For example, working out, right? If you're a mother or a father and you go to work out on a regular basis, that's time spent away from your family, away from your loved ones, and that is semi-selfish, right? You're spending time on yourself. Or, and then she mentioned she had somebody in her past that had made a decision to help themselves in some way, and it was tremendously selfish, and it hurt Kristen immensely because of the decisions this person made. Awesome. Awesome topic. So is selfishness good or bad? Cool. I looked up the definition just to make sure I wasn't totally crazy this morning because I think I have different views of selfishness now. But it says to hold one's interest above the interests of others. Yep. And I'm really enjoying the stoplight and the light cutting my face in half. That's fun too. So I'm sorry that I'm distracted by it because I'm sure you are too. Dang it! But the light will go green eventually and we'll get out of it. So, selfishness has always been a bad thing in our culture and Western society, and do you know why? Because I know why. Because our whole Western society was based on a lot of biblical principles, and one of the major ones in the Bible is selfishness is bad. I tend to think exceptionally highly of the Bible, and so I understand what it's saying. Now let me pull some things out for you. So, selfishness in our definition, in the Western definition of the Bible, in the dictionary, says that it's holding one interest above others, and a lot of the definitions, if you look at other layers, say that it's in harm to others. It's doing something for yourself in detriment to others. Interesting, right? Because working out, to choose to go work out an hour a day doesn't necessarily mean that's a detriment to others, right? Interesting. So now we're going to pull this apart. Here's my thought on it all. And Don't tell you where I think Ayn Rand missed the boat. And I know there's some people that are like, I will take you down, but you know what? I'm sorry. I don't think she's perfect, and, you know, I think she had some great ideas, but I think she missed the boat on some stuff. So, anyway, selfishness. So if I'm going to take care of my body so that I can live a long, healthy life, and I'm going to choose to eat the right things, and I'm going to choose to work out on a regular basis, and I have friends or family that tells me that that is selfish, then in all reality, they're actually living in the detriment harm place of selfishness, and myself would not. I would not be. I would be in a place of what I would call the good selfishness, if you can call it that. I mean, I don't have a definition for that. Let's just split the word in half and say there's a good and a bad way of being selfish. Just stay with me on this, all right? So, the good way of being selfish, like I said, I'm going to choose to work out. I'm going to take care of my body. I'm going to eat right in this. And then the bad way of being selfish is I'm going to. Here's a good one. A bad way of being selfish while working out, right? So, there's a lot of people that work out to the detriment of others around them. They don't just work out for their own health, but they work out in such incessant, compulsive craziness that they actually harm their family members around them. And you probably know some of them. In fact, the reason you know they're probably selfishly, in the bad way, working out and taking care of themselves is because they are forsaking all their family duties to work out and claiming it's for their health, right? That's just an excuse. They are injured all the time because they are never taking rest days and never taking care of themselves. The selfishness is not only hurting others, it's now hurting themselves physically. And you know who they are because you can look on Facebook or anything else and they always have a freaking injury. Oh, I broke this, I ripped this, I tore this, I strained this, but I'm still working out like a moron. You know, it's pretty easy to tell who they are. So, if exercising in a simple, like, neutral topic can be totally selfish in a horrible way, and also selfish in the right and appropriate way, where you're taking care of your body so you can be there for your family and loved ones until you're 105, and not die of back fat and diabetes and obesity at 65. People who die of back fat. I don't know. Maybe. So it's let's tie this all back in now, right? Now this is where Ayn Rand, I think, totally dropped the ball. If you're selfish and doing what you want to do, let's say selfishness is doing what you decide you want to do, and you decide that part of what you want to do is be in service to others. In Ayn Rand's world, that is the worst thing you could do, is serve somebody else, is give somebody something who has not done anything to deserve that gift. That is, you're out. You're out of the will, you're done. Well, if I'm being selfish at times and I decide that I want to take what I've earned or created or produced and I want to give it to somebody, and I want to share that with somebody out of my own volition, then that is arguably a totally selfish act. That is my choice out of my self-will to do this for somebody else. And granted, you know, those little things like there is no pure innocent act, right? Because I'm going to feel good about giving it to somebody else. I'm going to feel like I am special and nice, and I did something for somebody, and so it's not really for anybody else. It's actually for me to stroke myself so that I feel cool about myself. Look, break it out any way you want, but there can be acts of goodwill, of love, of caring that are defined in my way as selfish, because it's a self-choice, and it's something that you want to do. Not that you're guilted into doing, not that religion or church or politics told you to do, but something you want to do at your own heart. And that's a selfish act, and I think a very noble one. So, is selfishness good or bad? I think selfishness is both. It can be both, depending on how you live your life, right? So there it is. If somebody is hurting you because of them being selfish, I would do two things. I would look inside yourself and ask yourself, why is this really affecting me? Why does this hurt me? Why does this bother me? Is it because they're not spending time with me anymore? Is it because I'm not valued to them, or I don't feel valued to them? Or is it because they're actually hurting me somehow by their decisions that they're doing? Really get in there and find out, is it you or is it them? Let's get honest here. And if it's them and they're being totally selfish at the detriment of others, then that's a horrible thing. But sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're being selfish because they're going to go work out and they want to be around 105, and they work out at a appropriate amount, and they're eating right and all that stuff, and you should be happy for them theoretically, as long as they're not doing it at the detriment of others. I mean, if they're forsaking their family duties and forsaking their children or spouses and loved ones, then I would say that they're not doing the right thing. But let's just start there. I mean, I've been on this for 8 minutes now. It's almost way too long, but it's a great topic, Kristen. It's totally worth talking about, and I'd love to talk about it more. So, good job today, guys. Go be selfish in the right way. Go express yourself to the world the way you want to be. Oh, I'm in the tunnel! That's because I'm parking. It's been here. I've been talking for so long, and it's take two. Love you guys. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Peace.